Hi, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today, we have a very, very serious and very controversial question from our friend Fluffy Zergling, who says, Coach, this is a really controversial question, and I understand if you don't want to answer it. Let's live dangerously, after all. Danger is my middle name. He says, are you for or against putting pineapple on pizza? Ooh, things just got serious in here. Ooh, man. He goes on to say, if Ramsey makes a video response on this, he's gonna lose a lot of followers. That may be true, but the truth must come out. Am I for or against putting pineapple on pizza? I will tell you, I have eaten pizza with pineapple on it. I have eaten pizza with pineapple not on it. I have eaten different types, different styles of pizza. I have eaten Italian pizza. I have eaten Italian-style Argentinian pizza. I have eaten Boston-style pizza, which is amazing. It's like everything that's great about Italian pizza, but everything that's great about America, too. If you're not familiar with the difference between American-style pizza and Italian-style pizza or Argentinian-style pizza, which is very similar. The old world-style pizza is very simple. It's the crust. It's generally very thin, kind of flaky, kind of crispy. It's cooked in a brick oven generally. It's delicious. It's great. And it has very, very simple toppings on top. Sometimes just some olive oil. Maybe some cheese, maybe some tomatoes, maybe some spices. Not a lot. And then the Americans did this crazy thing. They were like, okay, this is good, but what if we put everything on it? And if you like everything on it, cool. Great. If you like to put 1,000,000 different toppings on it, that's fine. But at the same time, the beautiful, elegant simplicity of the old world style Italian pizza or the same sort of thing you can get in Argentina. Very, very simple, elegant. Elegant is simple. It's beautiful in its simplicity. My mother grew up at the end of World War II during post-war rationing in England. And she would always tell me about this, always tell me about post-war rationing, how hard it was, how little food they had. And something I learned about my mother was that she had very simple tastes when it came to food. She didn't like food to be complicated. She didn't like a lot of things on it. She didn't like sauces and dressings and all these extra spices and flavorings to make it taste different because she just wanted to appreciate the simple fact that she had food. And how beautiful and elegant that was. And as a child growing up in America where American tastes are all about robust, extreme flavors exploding in your mouth as much as possible, that was hard to appreciate. I can appreciate it more now. Pineapple on pizza. I do believe I had that in Argentina. They call pineapple ananá over there, as opposed to piña like they would in Mexico. Pizza con ananá. I had that. Not too common, but there were a few pizza places that would serve it. I don't dislike it. I don't go out of my way to find it. I don't dislike it. I know some people are like, it's blasphemy. How dare you even think about putting pineapple on pizza. Nah. I've had stranger things on pizza than pineapple, man. Roquefort cheese, you ever had that? Some people like it. It's a very strong, moldy cheese. Kind of like blue cheese, but kick it up a few notches. It's a powerful, extreme flavor. That was fairly popular when I lived in Buenos Aires. A lot of people had that. I had it a few times. I was like, this is intense. That's a very intense cheese. So if you like that on pizza, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not a huge fan, but, you know, to each their own. That's how food is. I made a video a while back about cooking. I cooked some meat, cooked a big piece of meat, a big piece of beef. And there were people virtually screaming at me in the comments, basically saying, "You ruined it. That's not the way I like it." Well, you're not the one eating it. This isn't your mouth. It's not your stomach. This isn't your mind. This is mine. This is my experience. I get it, though. I get it. We see something we wish we could have, and it's used in a way that we wouldn't use it, and it's like, why not me? Why not me? So if you want pizza with pineapple on, eat pizza with pineapple on. If you want pizza with anchovies, I'm not a fan, but go right ahead, be my guest. But if you're asking because you want to share a pizza with me, and you're wondering, should I order the one with pineapple on? I really like Hawaiian pizza. It's got that tangy sweetness that has nothing to do with Italy, but I love it. That's okay. I hope I didn't lose half my subscribers. Next question. We've got a comment from our friend Jason Wong. He says, "Hi Ramsey, I'm watching Kunlun Fight right now. The end of the, the quarterfinals 2019 events with you doing the English commentary. Yeah, I do English commentary for Kunlun Fight. Go check it out on HD Sports. Oh, cool. They're showing it on HD Sports now. That's awesome. On the HD Sports channel while the city is on lockdown. Man, good luck to you out there. My city's on lockdown too. I feel you. No new series yet. Hopefully the new event kicks in fast. I know the Ring Girls are materialistic, not friendly, but in reality I enjoy looking at them. Can you tell the fighters to stand close to the flag bearers and Ring Girls so that I can see them more?" Okay. All right, next time I'm at one of these Kunlun Fight events, I will tell the fighters to stand next to the flag bearers so you can get a better view of the Ring Girls. They may or may not listen to me, but I'll let them know. I'm your inside man. All right, he goes on to say, Jay says, "Get Kunlun Fight to invite Master Wong to compete. Just one match versus you in an MMA match." Oh, man, that'd be cool. I would come out of retirement for that. "The ratings will be really high if it's you versus Master Wong. He didn't improve on grappling despite training with UFC because he's still stubborn, refused to fight full contact, sparring in class, forever won't learn." Man, I hope that's not the case. I hope Master Wong is learning. I don't watch too many of his videos. Occasionally somebody will send me something he's done, say, "Hey Ramsey, what do you think of this?" And I haven't seen anything he's done for a while, but it seemed like Master Wong was getting at least interested in learning the correct way to do some jiu-jitsu techniques and so on. So I sincerely hope he's learning and getting better and informing his audience, because he's got a huge audience that loves him. I hope he's giving them better content. But yeah, man, I would love to do that. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if there could be like a Kunlun Fight MMA exhibition between me and Master Wong. I would come out of retirement for that. That would be amazing. So Master Wong, if you are listening, yeah, after this coronavirus thing blows over, if you survive, if I survive, if we survive, let's beat the crap out of each other. That would be amazing. We will make so much money. Like, so much. So, anyway, great idea. I love the idea. I don't know if Master Wong would be down for it. He's said in no uncertain terms he has no interest in fighting me, and that's fine. I respect that, but that would be amazing. So, Master Wong, if you're listening, let's do it. Next question. Our next question comes from our friend Alba, who says, "Hey Ramsey, can you make a video on whether or not we should train at our MMA gyms during Corona season? My gym is taking sanitary measures, but it's a concern, of course." Oh man, that's a weighty issue right now. All of the gyms in China have been closed for 3 months, closed. They are just now after a 3-month hiatus, starting to reopen conditionally. And here's the condition: only for private training and only if scheduled and approved in advance. This quarantine is serious, man. It is serious. This is a highly contagious disease. And over here they are doing everything they possibly can to prevent the spread of this. People don't want to get sick, and so the people here are doing everything they possibly can to prevent that. And it is, man, this is going to pretty much destroy the whole world's economy as we know it. Do you remember that scene in the movie Fight Club? Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen Fight Club. What's his name? Edward Norton's character and his alter ego Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt. Their whole plan culminates in destroying this building that houses, it's like the financial center of these companies that keep track of all credit card debt and all this. They want to erase all the debt in the world by destroying this building, and they do. This very nihilistic approach to try to create a desired outcome. And that's probably not going to happen right here. But the whole world's economy is going to is being wrecked. This will be interesting. This will be an awfully great adventure to see what happens next. But you didn't ask about the economy. I don't really understand that. I am not an economist. Some people on the internet are. Go give them a listen if that's your jam. But you asked about gyms. Should you close your gym up? Some of the states in the U.S., from what I have heard, are mandatorily closing all gyms. Some places are getting an exception because they're being called clubs instead of gyms. A lot of public meeting places, restaurants, bars are closing down because of the law. Churches, basically all meeting places with more than a few people gathering at once, closing down in the U.S. from what I understand. And that has happened in China. It's been going on for a long time and may persist for a long time yet. So this corona season may be a long one. And I've seen some debates from some prominent figures in the MMA and jiu-jitsu communities online, from some prolific figures saying, you should close your gym. If you're not, it's not socially responsible. And others saying, we'll do what we want because America. If you have a choice in the matter, I suppose it comes down to what is the result you want? I mean, think about this. For the first time in the history of ever, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, are closed right now. No church meetings. The missionaries who go outside, rain, sleet, snow, mud, whatever, have been sent back indoors. You might understand the implication of that. That's a big deal. This is a massive, worldwide church, a massive organization with meetings worldwide throughout almost every nation on this planet. And they have closed the doors of those chapels and said, meet at home with your families during this time. And that's without prompting from the government. That's without any official, legislation saying this is what you must do. It's just like worldwide, we're going to do it. Let's play it safe. And what is a church? Most church buildings, most church meetings, a bunch of people sit in chairs. Not a lot of close contact. I know the Catholics do that thing where they shake each other's hand sometimes. I've attended a Catholic church meeting, a couple of them, and what is that called? I don't remember. But they'll have this interesting thing where they basically say, let's take a moment to get to know each other, and so on. That's pretty cool, I think. That's pretty cool. But that's about as much contact as you have in a church. Unless you go to one of those crazy evangelical ones where the guy like hits you in the head so hard it knocks you out, and he's like, "Devil, get out of this woman! Boom! She's healed!" Yeah, those are interesting. You ever been to one of those? Not trying to criticize your faith if that is the type of church you go to, but that's some physical contact. That's some very physical contact, right? But a gym, a martial arts gym, especially a grappling gym, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu or a wrestling gym, all that is close physical contact with people breathing and sweating on each other. Think that through. Think that through. Next question. Our next question comes from our friend Vladimir, who says, I have been watching people in China training Iron Fist. Why don't MMA fighters train Iron Fist to pound harder? Okay, here's what traditional Iron Fist training is. And no, we're not talking about the Marvel Comics character Iron Fist, or that kind of disappointing TV show based on the comics. Iron Fist is taking one of your hands and smashing it against something hard until it breaks, and then letting it heal, and the bones get more calcified, more dense, and then smash it some more, let it heal, smash it some more, let it heal, and the bones again get harder, more dense, and eventually your hand becomes a useless cudgel. All you can do is use it to hit things and break things. There's this guy here in China who has the world record for breaking the most rocks, and he has transformed his left hand into a useless club that is only good for breaking rocks. It's just a big lump of calcified bone, and his left hand is twice the size of his right hand because that's what he breaks all the rocks with. He can't articulate his fingers, can't do any of that. Now, when we put on an MMA glove, let me grab one right here. You know it's an MMA glove if it says MMA on it. Ooh, anyway. It's a small glove. And under this glove we put wraps, we put tape, we make the hand nice and solid. It's like you take a bag of marbles. And if I take that bag of like 28 marbles, analogous to the 28 small marble-sized bones in your hand, and I take that bag and I throw it boom, at your head, yeah, that'll hurt, that'll leave a mark. But if I take that bag and I wrap it up nice and tight in some athletic tape, and then I take that bag of marbles tightened up in that tape and I wrap it in leather, and then I throw it at you, that's going to hurt. That's basically taking a baseball and throwing it at your head. It's basically what that is. So you do not need to turn your hands into Iron Fist cudgels. You don't need to break and re-break them. Sure, you do need to do some conditioning. You gotta punch the heavy bag, hit the pads, do that sort of stuff. Do some push-ups on your knuckles, that sort of thing, to make sure your hands don't break on impact, to make sure they can handle the power behind you, but you don't need to destroy your hands in order to knock people out. You don't. So I hope that answers your question. MMA is already dangerous enough as it is by weaponizing the hands, essentially putting a cestus, which is the old Roman Latin word for what the gladiators would do when they would fight without a weapon. They would wrap their hands up in leather thongs and studs, and sometimes they would have like a metal grip thing that they would put over that, and they would punch each other to death in the Colosseum. So yeah, that is dangerous enough as it is. This with tape under it, not as deadly as a Kestis, but, it makes your hands a whole lot more dangerous than just this. Next question. Our next question comes from our friend Jonas, who says, I want to be a professional MMA fighter. The best to have ever done it, if I can. But there's an issue. In my culture, giving children alcohol from a certain age is fine. And I've been drinking in small quantities since I was 13. I'm now almost 18 years old, and over the years my drinking has gotten worse and worse. I get drunk at least once every 2 months at parties, and at home I like to enjoy a few glasses of wine and a shot of whiskey here and there during the week. Should I stop drinking completely if I want to pursue my dream of becoming a professional fighter? I understand that alcohol does affect athletic performance, but I know athletes like Conor McGregor, John Jones, even Georges St. Pierre drink to some degree. What should I do? Yeah, there are plenty of examples of these tremendous athletes who drink or do some other vice which is definitely not good for them, and they probably know that. John Jones is an interesting example because how many fights did we get deprived of because of choices John Jones made regarding substances, drugs, alcohol, that sort of thing? He made some bad decisions that got him barred from competition for a very long time, and I remember just being, oh man, come on, John Jones, I love watching you fight, and now we can't watch you fight. Now your fans can't see you fight because of those substances, because of those choices you made, influenced by those substances that you took. And that sucked. That sucked a lot. So that's an interesting example that you chose. You know, I wonder, these guys like Conor McGregor, another example, Chuck Liddell. Remember back in the day when Chuck Liddell was the stuff? I read Chuck Liddell's biography, and he was very open about all the partying he did back in the day, all the drinking he did, all the hard living he did. And I can't help but wonder how much better Chuck could have been if he lived clean. Because that guy was a beast. That guy was a monster. That guy was amazing. Imagine if he could have been more. Jack Dempsey wrote in his book Championship Fighting, he said, alcohol has no place on the lips of a fighter. If you want to be serious about fighting, forget that. Don't smoke, don't drink. And he said this back in the day before there was a great body of scientific work establishing that smoking and drinking are bad for you. He just felt it. He felt it like people who smoke and drink don't perform as well as those who do. And he felt that not smoking, not drinking gave him the athletic edge that he needed when the other guys were wilting. I am not a naturally gifted athlete. I am not. Man, I was kinesthetically retarded, basically. It was a struggle. I was the skinniest, weakest thing. I had to claw my way up every ounce of athleticism and ability I have right now. I had to work so hard for. And alcohol or anything else like that that would have held me back to any degree, I could never be where I am right now with that. I couldn't. And you want to make it to the top. You want to make it to the top. You want to be the best. Well, you better start cutting that out of your life. Whether you can do that cold turkey or little by little, I don't know. You do it the way you can do it. But cut that out of your life. A champion is a man who gets up when he can't, said Jack Dempsey. I love that quote, but if you're putting poison into your body, that poison just makes it so much harder to get up when you can't. I'm always hearing stories about, well, I knew this old guy who lived to be 106 and he smoked and drank every day. Dranked. Smoke and drunk. What is the right word? That's a confusing word in English, right? Consumed alcoholic beverages. There we go. What would that old man's life, his quality of life, his extent of life, what would his life have been like if he lived clean? My guess is probably better. That's my advice, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, that's all the questions for today. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comments down below or email me at ramseydewey@gmail.com. It doesn't even have to be about MMA, combat sports, whatever. You got a question, I got an answer. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.